Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. Thank you for joining today's webinar that is Branding and Marketing for Your College Fest by Rakshita V. Raman. So please welcome her. Hi Rakshita, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Great, great. I'm Shubhashri. So yeah, let me just start off with the session, then we'll continue with the Q&A and you can introduce yourself and all, okay?
Sure, sure.
Awesome. So, guys, this webinar is in collaboration with QFIS. QFIS is a mentorship platform with a community of experts who can guide individuals in their journey. Also, QFIS hosts coaching and workshops on different topics to enhance your skills. So, please check out www.qfis.com for more details. I'll also drop down the website link in the chat box so that you can go and check that out later as well. And I'm Subhashri from My Captain, and I'm very excited for today's webinar. College fests are always very exciting. So, yeah, guys, Rakshita is here. So, Rakshita, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us about what did you pursue in terms of education, and what's your current position right now?
So I began actually, it's a very different journey. I don't, maybe some people will be able to connect. So initially I took up commerce in my plus two, and I wanted to become a CA, but I understood that, it's not my cup of tea, and, I wanted to go for something more creative. And so I took up my BA in mass communication, English literature and social management at St. Francis. And then itself, again, by the end of my degree, I decided that advertising is something that I would like to enter into, because I felt a calling for marketing, you could say. And right after my college, I joined iBrand, which is a ad agency, creative agency. So I happened to work there for a very brief period, which was like 3 months. And I was so glad to actually associate with a brand like that, because they had amazing clients. Like, if you see the e-bus that's going on around the city of Hyderabad, I was part of the team that actually, done that. So when you see your creation going all around the city like that, that's something that made me very happy in iBrand. And then I got a calling for content writing, you could say. Then I joined digital marketing, which I joined like Shoot Order Digital Marketing Agency. And when I joined there, I had a great growth, I could say, over there, because I joined as a writer, and then I went on to become a content head within a year. So it was like a really amazing experience, and it didn't just limit me to talking only about content. I got involved in the strategy and branding, online branding of certain brands that came up to them as clients.
Yeah.
So that's where it happened. And I just randomly, on LinkedIn, that too, I just came across a job at Hyatt for they were looking for a marketing executive, and I just applied. And I could say it was really luck, because getting into Hyatt through LinkedIn, like, it's like
Yeah.
two big things happening at the same time. So, and then I joined Hyatt in December last year, and since then I've been associated with Hyatt. I am the marketing executive for Hyatt Place, Hyderabad, Banjara Hills, and I take care of the entire marketing. So I'm like a one-man show over there, because I'm just a single person taking care of marketing over there. And
That's so
yes,
cool. That's so cool. I know, like you are just managing that, and it's
yes,
so great.
yes.
Awesome. So coming with that, only my second question to you is, so you're currently working as a marketing executive at Hyatt Place. So
Yes.
can you tell us about your roles and responsibilities that you go through day to day?
So my role is specifically for my hotel, my property only, like only for that hotel.
Okay.
So what I take care of everything that comes under marketing over there. So it goes from, getting the hoarding done, or getting a poster done for the lobby where, you promote your new food and beverage offering or something like that. And then there's also digital media that I take care of. I manage the content on the website based on, the changes that are happening. Then I also manage the social media handles. I also work for you have OT, online travel agents, like, MMT or GoIBibo, booking.com. So I manage the content that goes everywhere. So wherever you'll find the brand of Hyatt Place Hyderabad, you can understand that, yes, Rakshita has something to do with that. So that pretty much sums up what I do at my work over there.
That's so nice. Like doing something so huge and all, like you're, as you said, you're a one-man show. That's obviously so cool and so awesome, but it also is like very hectic. So I really hope that you're taking
True.
care of yourself.
Yes,
Due to this
yes.
pandemic and all, it's already very stressful. So yeah.
So actually, the pandemic gave me a chance to, work cross department and, see how other departments work too, because I'm not from a hotel management background. So
Yeah.
I got to work, with the F&B or with other operations. It's such a close team over there because it's a smaller hotel when compared to the other ones. So everyone is just around you, and
Yeah.
it's so nice to be all together in the same place and learn a lot from each other. Sitting with chef and making a menu, or it could be sitting with the housekeeping. So currently international housekeeping awareness week is going on, so we're doing
Mhm.
something special for them and all that. So it's very nice. Actually, the pandemic actually turned out to be good for me to actually connect with everybody else in the hotel.
That's great. Okay, so coming from there, as you have so much experience, like managing different parts of things. So coming to the topic for today, college fest, right? So my
Yes.
next question to you is like how to start off with branding your college fest, because when a student, when I was in college, when I think of a college fest, the first thing that comes in my mind is like, oh my God, how are like people gonna know about this? How is it gonna get hit? Like I want the college fest to get hit. So for that, branding is like plays a really huge role. So how to start off with like branding for college fest?
So amazingly, I have a great experience with managing a fest also at college. So in my second and third year, I was a very avid player, and I was in the team that ran the club that conducted this particular fest. So we had this fest. I'm just giving you an example so that I
Yeah.
feel like through examples it's easier for you to
Yes.
understand how you go about it. So when I was in first year, we had Media Sphere, which was like a mass communication subject based fest, which had a lot of to do with short film submissions or dance performances. Everything and anything was included in that. So in the first year, it was called Media Sphere. So when I came to second year, we called it Media Sphere 2.0.
Yeah.
So that's where I would like to raise my first point. So the first point is the name of your fest.
Yeah.
So if you want to brand your fest, the name should be catchy. The name should be something that people remember if you've already done it, or it should be something that is so self-explanatory about what you're going to do or what you're offering at your fest. So the name is the first thing, and with the name comes the logo. So if you want somebody to connect and recognize you, the first step in branding is to create a logo for yourself, a logo that will go on everything that you're talking about related to your
Yeah.
fest. Then there's also like the versions that I said, like how I named it 2.0. So I wouldn't say I, the team named it 2.0. So that's something that comes under rebranding, but still it plays an important role. And then your college itself actually plays a very big role in what your fest is going to be, because excuse me, because if you're going to connect, like if I say Media Sphere, people there, I'm pretty sure people will connect it with St. Francis College.
Yeah.
Or if St. Francis College is hosting a fest, you'll know that it's either Arthashastra or it is a Media Sphere. So some people are very familiar with these names. So
Yeah.
your college actually plays a very important role in branding your fest. Then
Yeah.
coming, if you keep going on into the process, there are so many things, that you can use posters in your college, in their in other colleges. WhatsApp, now digital is everywhere. So
Yeah.
I think we can look forward to fest itself happening online, where you have a panel online or you have a performance online. So if you see, digital media also plays a very important role from your registration process till you announcing the winners. So you have social media playing an important role. You can create a small website for yourself. You can use Google Forms for your registration. So in all these things, it's very important that you put out your brand, your logo, and your communication out there perfectly, so that people are connected. And even after a few years, when people look back, they'll be like, oh, I was part of this fest, I've been to this fest, or I've participated in this fest. So that is your first step to branding, I would say, for your college life.
That's so nice. That's like a lot of insight at a time.
I know. No,
Yeah.
I'll explain a few
Yeah,
pointers
sure.
through as we go ahead.
Yeah. So my
Yeah.
next question is like really connected to the previous
Mm-hmm.
question. So what is the checklist of things that you think a student can do to brand their college fest? Like all the checklists. So college fest can get like so hectic. So I have been a
True.
part as well. So we
Mm-hmm.
always need a checklist to make sure that everything is done, right? So what are the checklist things that you would suggest?
I actually noted down and I kept it ready for all of you here.
Mhm.
So, as I said, the first thing would be your logo. And with your logo, when you make a brand, it comes with something that in professional terms it's called a style guide. But for you to understand very easily, you have a logo and your name, and then you have the fonts and the color palette and the elements that you've used in your logo, which need to come out similar in any of your other communications. So supposing if my logo is inside a circle, that circle itself becomes an element, and you can use a lot of circles in your posters or in your social media posts or anything like that. So these things, if you're fixed that this is your color palette, these are my three colors. So what happens is when people see different fests happening at the same time and they see your colors and your fest, they identify your fest. So style guide is an important thing. That's the first thing. If you set it, everything will flow. Your backdrop color or your certificates that you design, everything will flow with that. So this is your first one. The second thing would be your marketing collaterals, which will be the posters, flyers, invitations, certificate, your trophy. So these are the main things, because everything has to have your branding. So if you don't want to miss, you have to make a list of things that you're going to get done
Yeah.
from the time of your registration till you give out your prizes. So this is a small one. The next, we come to the digital look and feel. So again, you have to create your social media. You have to create your because college fest is something that's for the youth. So everybody has social media. So that's the easiest and the cheapest and the best way to reach out to your crowd that you want to target for your fest over there. Then there are certain stationery that you can do, like if you're having an elocution or if you're having a quiz or something like that, each of your tables can have, like, a notepad that is branded with your fest name, or the cue cards that the person reads on the dais also can be branded. So a lot of things you can learn, these few things from the TV shows, the reality shows or something that you see. Like, you see in a dance competition, that guy is holding something in his hand where he's reading out something. It has some branding to it. So if you just pick few points from all these things, and your entire checklist is going to be ready, I'm pretty sure you're not going to miss out anything over there. Then another thing you can try on site at the place where your fest is happening is you can have signages and directions, because it's it will be at the auditorium, but not everybody who's coming from outside knows where your auditorium or knows where that particular hall is. So you can have your direction symbols also in the same colors that your logo is, so that people know that this is the way. And you can have table tent cards. And my personal favorite thing on your checklist, which none of you have to miss, I would say, is branding your crew's uniform or t-shirt.
Yeah.
I really loved having my name with the logo of the fest, and I'm wearing it, and the entire team is standing on the stage and taking a picture. That is a memory that, as a person who's conducting the fest, will have the amazing feeling. Like, even today, I've preserved my two t-shirts from the two fests that I've done, and it's very important to me. So it gives a personal feeling to you. You'll feel like it's your baby that you're
Yeah.
creating. It's your business. It's your first business. If, like, for all the business enthusiasts over there, it's like your first mini business that you're doing. And if you do it amazingly, you will be personally connected to it, and you will look forward and look back to it later on in life. And this is pretty much my list, but I think a few other things, I think, in the chat, if anybody wants to add for the others who are seeing, or if I missed out anything, please go ahead and share it on the chat.
Yeah.
Do you think I missed anything?
No, I think you really covered everything.
Hmm.
So also that in all your checklists, the little things really do matter, like the logo, the t-shirts, and all these little things which might not seem okay, this is something we can skip, but no, having all those little things will actually make the college fest more personalized, more good, because the students will also have the energy and that enthusiasm to do it. Like, okay, I'm gonna do
True.
this. Okay, this fest is mine. So that personalization really does matters. I think you covered everything, so that was great. Also, so now the next topic is like, where all can we do the branding for the fest? Like, what are the places? Like, one you told social media, right? Where else can we do the branding?
So again, I would like to give an example of what I did. So for my the fest that we did at college, we had a Wix site created. So we had this website. We didn't buy the domain. We let it be like that. We just used the website design, and we used it to promote the different what events that we had under the fest. And each page had its own Google form, so that people who are interested in that fest will go into that Google form. So your website can be a place where you use your branding. Like I said, your t-shirt, your certificate, your cue cards and your table tent cards, or your invitations, or any stationery or any marketing collaterals, anything that has to do with your fest, you can put your brand on that. Even if you are if you have your students in the college who are putting up a stall of, because they love baking, they have a cupcake stall or something, they can put their logo and our logo, so that people remember, oh, it was in this particular fest that I bought this particular person's cupcake. I really like it, maybe I want to order it from her. Then it's also possible that you have sponsors for your fest and they would request their logo on certain things. So you need to make sure that you're giving enough footage to them also while you're branding your things. Like your certificate should have your college logo, your event logo, and also your sponsor's logo. Then, if you're giving out mementos to the judges or the chief guests who are coming, on that you'll have to have your branding. Pretty much, but I would also like to say that, don't overdo it. Don't, if your logo has a sign or a symbol or, a creative illustration on it, and it has a name. So it's not necessary that you use the entire logo at once. You can use parts of the logo. You can use just the elements of the logo. So if you look at Audi symbol, I know it's very vague, but if you look at Audi symbol, just the four rings will remind you that it's Audi. You don't need to write Audi down. So similarly, if you just use the elements here and there for branding your things, it will be perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so how can one utilize college brand for your own fest? Like, college also plays a very important role, right? So college's brand is also very important when you do the branding for the college fest. So how can
Yes.
we like utilize the college brand's name in all ways?
So what happens is, your college might have affiliations with other colleges or with other institutes or something like that. So the moment they see your college has a newsletter on their notice board, or has something on their notice board, or on their social media also, like if your college has a social media page, you can promote your fest through their page also, because relatively they will have they'll have more reach and more followers for your particular audience set, and that's possible that you get a lot of reach from there. Another thing you can do is, take help of your lecturers and take help of your principal to give out the permissions and everything, because it so happens that another college will not let anybody just enter without a permission or anything like that. But if you have something from your college, like from your principal with a letterhead that says, we are here to invite your students to our fest or something like that, that's where your college brand will also play a very important role.
So true. Yeah.
And I think, yeah, this is how you can use your college brand as such. But if your college has different locations, like different branches of your college, that also helps, because everything is covered just because you're having your college logo over there.
So true. Yeah, that's nice. Also, in this, during this generation, social media influencers play a really vital role when it comes to promoting a college fest or something, some events, kind of a thing. So, how can one make use of influencers in your college to promote? Because not all influencers charge the same amount or something. Different influencers take different approaches towards promotions and all. So, how should we go about that?
So I would say, it's in college or right before college, people are becoming influencers. Like at the age of 16 or 17, everybody
Yeah.
is, you can see a lot of influencers are very young, for that. And you also have the budding influencers. See, it's possible that this person has only three, I wouldn't say only, it's a huge number. It's like 2,000, 5,000 followers is also a good reach for you. Then, because if you just started your own college fest page,
Yeah.
it will take some time for you to gain the followers and communicate very easily with a lot of people at the same time. But if you look at the influencers, it's a boosting for them also, especially when they are budding ones. So if you use them, their social media handle to promote your fest, they also feel happy. Again, I personally believe that this one sentence, that branding is something very personal to everybody. If you connect with a brand or with a person or a celebrity, it's because you personally feel some vibe or some emotion with them. So the more personal you make your branding, the better it is for you to reach out to it. So when it comes to influencers, you'll find many in your college itself, I would say, or who are going to participate and they are from other colleges. They also could be your influencers if they are sharing on their page that I'm going to perform or participate in this fest. It's your influencer thing that is happening there. Another pointer under the influencer section would be your judges and your chief guests. If you have a celebrity who's coming to become a judge at some of the event, you can use that person's handle also to influence. And you, like, if there's a movie actor who's going to come and judge the dance competition, so if he or she will put it on their handle that I'm going to this particular college for this fest, again you'll get a lot of people, at least
Yeah.
a footfall. You can see a lot of footfall by using them as your influencer.
True. Also, I'm seeing all the mentees dropping down questions here. So, guys, please use the Q&A box and drop out all your questions there. In the end of all the questions that we have, we'll move forward to your questions, and then Rakshita can answer all those, right?
Yes.
Okay, Rakshita, great. Next question would be, so you can tell us how to advertise and do branding for a fest with like minimal funding or free options or some sponsorship, because students have to like run from one company to another company to find sponsorship. And sometimes it happens, like for example for me, sometimes it happens that the sponsor is nowhere related to what our college fest is all about, but
True,
they're
true.
ready to give money. So we can't just go to everyone, and it's very hard to like put in money for students for a college
Yeah.
fest, right? So any minimal funding options or free options or sponsorship thing, anything?
This actually reminds me, I'm going to tell a very short story. This reminds me of the first college fest that I was part of happened just during the demonetization.
Huh.
You can imagine how difficult it was to get sponsors. We literally got a sponsorship of just 5,000 rupees, and everything else was taken care of by the stall rent that we got. So here your minimal options to try get funding is, don't go for a very big company, don't go for the big shots that are there. Go to startups who are more connected. Like if I am doing a fest about dance, go to an art studio or go to a dance studio and invite them as a judge or invite them as something. So I believe in barter happening,
Yeah.
being better for your fest than getting a money and using that money for something like that. So speak like a barter. Like you can tell that they give out free coupons for free dance session in their studio, and you invite them as a guest. You see that you're giving some perk to your participant or the winner who is coming also, and also you're not spending any money in doing that. Like prize money is something that was very ancient, I would say, because nowadays nobody, even if they give a prize money, it's a very minimal amount. And more than a prize money, giving them a coupon or giving them some experience instead will be better. So for your funding options, always go for someone who will do it in barter for you.
Nice. And for sponsorship, what would you suggest, like how to approach or something like that?
It's simple. The people who you're targeting, you should be clear about them. You try to use the connections that you have within your college. Like if you have people, your classmates whose parents know certain people, that personal touch does, make an impact. But don't overdo it, because asking for a lot of personal favors will end up something bad for them. So just throw in a question if it's possible, and if it's possible, go ahead with it. Or it's very Google has everything. It's just that you need to have a strategy how to go about it. You need to have that knack to understand whether this person will give you the money or not. So you visit their website, you go through what exactly their business is into, or what what is something that you can do for them. When you
Yeah.
approach a sponsor, more than seeking what they can do for you, go with an attitude of what you can do for them, because that is what satisfies the pitch, and that is what will make them believe that, okay, I'm putting my money somewhere that will give me investment, because he's a businessman
Yeah.
or a businesswoman. They will not think, for them it's nothing. It might not actually end up into something. Like if somebody is sponsoring me, it's, I may not be their target audience also for doing a business. But
Yeah.
if you go to certain people who are actually associated with students or associated with the subject that you're dealing with, that will be your perfect sponsor.
That's nice. Like focus on your target audience.
Yes.
Awesome. So next question would be, how can digital marketing help you brand your fest better?
So you have Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. These three will be play a very important role in branding, or marketing your fest. So here is where, so if you look at advertising in the previous point we were talking about, you cannot put a hoarding somewhere that there's a college fest. Maybe your fest is not at that
Yeah.
huge scale, and that will cost a lot. That will cost like in thousands and 10,000, and it will go up to a lakh also sometimes, even if it's for a week.
Yeah.
So at the same time, if you look at your online marketing techniques, even if you put a minimal 5,000 or within 10,000 a budget, if you're running it for a month also, you get great reach and you get to target your audience. Like for example, if there's a hoarding, how many students are actually going to see it and actually come here? But
Yeah.
you have the analytics and you have the metrics that you can judge and optimize and think and stop if it's not working for you when it comes to online marketing. Like if you run an ad on Facebook, if you run an ad on Instagram, you know how many people are seeing it and registering themselves. If you see that a lot of people are seeing it but nobody's registering, you can stop the funding right there and save your money for something else that you can do.
Yeah.
Maybe spend that money to go to another college and personally, physically invite those people over there. You wouldn't have thought about that, but that's how you can segregate your amount of advertising.
True. Also coming to the thing which you were talking about, the Wix registration. So my
Mm-hmm.
next question would be, which online registration platform would you suggest, like Wix site or Google Forms or something else, and how can we brand there?
So, according to me, Google Forms is the easiest because everybody has a Gmail account. It's easier from that side also, because if you use any other portal, it might now be chargeable, because back then when I was doing the fest, it was not chargeable. And I didn't look for any other options because Google was sufficient for me.
Yes.
And now that you have this option of having your logo over there in a Google form. So going with a Google form is a easier and better way. And the best part about it is you can make certain fields mandatory, like their phone number or their email ID could be mandatory. That way you get to follow up with them whether they're interested or not, because just registering does not stop. Until and unless on the fest you have a lot of people coming in, all your efforts are not going to pay up. So you follow up with them. If you have their email ID, you send them an email, and even in your email you can use your branding. So you can have like, we're waiting for you, or there's just 2 days to go. You can have a countdown. You can have a reminder. You can tell them about the other events that they have not applied for yet. So Google Forms is a very useful thing that you can use for a registration.
Yeah, it's actually quite easy and not so complicated for people to understand and like break their
True.
heads.
Exactly.
Recently there's also something called Typeform where we do animated things and all. That's also
Yeah, that's also a good option. True,
yeah,
true.
because Google Form is like basically some plain thing, but then
Yeah,
Typeform is like a advanced version of Google Form.
with some animations and something that you like to see. It's like your Instagram instead of Facebook.
Yeah,
I would say.
so true. That's a nice comparison. I like that. Okay, coming to social media branding. So we know that it is very important, like in social media, to promote on Instagram and everything. What would you recommend that, for example, if the college fest is just beginning and it's not some second version like you mentioned
Hmm.
before for your thing, do we create a social media handle for the college fest, or we should use a college social media handle? Because creating a college fest thing might be sometimes difficult to get followers and all that.
True.
So what would you recommend?
So there are two things, or two options that you have with this. One is you can use your college social media because it already has your followers. It already has a lot of people liking the stuff over there. So it's possible that you can do that. Another option that you have is, see, if you have at least 2 months before the fest, then it would be suggestible to actually have your own social media account for the fest or something. But if it's within a month, then it really doesn't make sense because by the time you get that kind of a followership and a reach, you will be drained out and you will miss out on a lot of people.
Yeah.
But again, a third way of doing it is all your organizers and all your friends sharing it on their own personal media, because again, personalization is very important. So
Yeah.
if you put it on your story that there's a fest that is happening in my college, so it's quite possible that your friends would be interested to participate in it, or your friends would, just for the sake of meeting you, they would come to the fest, and just for having fun also, you'll get a lot of people coming. And then when they come, they will be like, "Arey, this is something that I could do," and they will participate. So that personal process is a lot more easier than running your own social media for a page. But if you already keep doing it every year, a particular fest that is happening every year in your college, then it is suggestible to have social media and have a throwback. They
Yeah.
keep your content engaging when it comes to social media. Like suddenly just before the fest, don't bombard them with content. All throughout the year, you keep sharing things from your past events, or you keep saying, ask people what they want to have in the next fest, or connect with your audience over there through that. That would be my suggestion.
That's a really nice suggestion. I'll also keep that in mind. Okay, so my next question would be personal social media branding. So,
Hmm.
what are your tips to like? Sometimes it's like when personal people put it up, it's like they are spamming, right?
Hmm.
How do we go about it? Like, how do we make the personal social media branding very effective?
So the best way to make it effective is, suppose in your fest will have a set of events, and if you have a person who's a really good speaker, and that person is going to participate in your elocution competition, for example, putting, if they are only talking about this particular competition for a certain time and not bombarding people with every other thing, it's useful, because it's quite possible that this person who's a very good speaker also knows other good speakers, and they'll also have people who want to be in a competition with this person. So streamline and make a flow chart of who will be the perfect person to promote this particular item, and who will not. See, everybody can talk about the fest overall in general, but too much and spamming, like you said, should not happen. It should be like, the frequency should be just thrice in a week, when it's 1 month before the fest, and before that just once in a week. And just right before the fest, like within a week, you can have like your own countdown. You can have a countdown on your personal profiles also. You can be like, fill the registrations are filling in fast, so register right now, you will lose out on your seat. So create like an urgency, create like a flow chart of who should do how much, and then you will be sorted. Because if you just keep sharing and sharing and sharing, people are going to unfollow you, which will also land up to something that's not good for your fest.
Yeah. Also, coming with that Instagram thing, also my next question is WhatsApp branding taking. So, when someone texts in WhatsApp, it's like basically a forwarded message or something we feel, and then we're like skipping it. But then,
Yeah.
how can we improve in WhatsApp? Because WhatsApp, personalization is there. You're talking, you're building a conversation. You're not just putting up a story.
True.
So, yeah, how do we go about that?
So there are two things that you can do. Like you said, you can just put your story and people who are interested will ping you, and then your conversation will build into something they register. Another way to do it is when you know personally that you identify certain people that this person is going to register, so you reach out to that person personally, hey, hi, hello, all your formal talks, and then go ahead saying, there's a college fest there's a fest that's coming up in my college, would you like to participate, because I think you're a good dancer, I think you're a good singer. So I'm not saying you to flatter them with your words, but your circle and who will be interested. So wisely make a call, who should you target and who do you think will actually register right now. That
True.
should be your idea.
That's nice. Okay, so any take, like we'll get to the takeaways like in the end. Till then, we can answer mentees' question. They have sent you
Sure.
questions, so we'll go with that. Okay, so the first, like I have seen this question so many times now, so I'm just gonna collaborate all these questions and tell you. So how to organize college fest digitally? How do you conduct events digitally now? Because due to pandemic and all, it's all virtual events now. So virtual fest, virtual event, virtual this, virtual that. So what are your suggestions for that?
So I would suggest, first of all, not meeting a lot of people. Stay safe first. What you can do is you can do it on platforms like Zoom, or you can do it, like, it is quite possible. Or see, fests are not just about competitions. Fests are also about what do you call, performances. Like you might have some special performance by some just become celebrity or something like that. So in those kind of situations, you can use a particular, just a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So
It's
yeah,
okay.
in those kind of situations you can use like a Facebook live or an Instagram live, which will actually keep going the thing. But another thing you can do is just conduct it on your Zoom, because I don't see any other way that you can do it. What you can do is like, you'll have to have a set of instructions for them, that you mute yourself, you put your video off, and after this particular time you can speak or something like that. So it's just basically what you're doing right now with here. So that's the way to go about digitally. But I really hope that this virtual thing goes down and we actually physically enjoy a fest outside.
That feeling is different, completely different. Like meeting all your friends and all face to face,
Yes,
it gives you another feeling. So true.
totally.
Okay, so next question is any ideas for virtual fest in the pandemic situation?
Mm, yeah, you, like I said, you can have a live performance on your Facebook and Instagram. The second thing is, if it's about talking, dancing, or singing, it's very easily possible for you to do online. But if you have something like a content writing contest, or if you have something like make a design or something creative and innovative, and people are ready to do it, or they have to just draw and just scan it and upload it, and then we find the winner, that also can be a very nice idea for you to take up. Currently, suddenly, I'm not able to, bring up many things, but I think just let's just wait for some time. Everything will
Yeah,
open,
it's
and
okay.
then
You can
we'll
answer
just.
that in the end. We can
Yep.
move ahead with next question.
Sure, sure.
Okay, next question is, since this has like the college fest has many facets, is there a starting point? Like, how do you start? From where do you start? There are like so many questions in your mind. There should be a starting point, right? So, from where do you start?
So the best place to start is go to your department or whoever is conducting, and take your permission first. When you take your permission, you sit with your lecturer and you can discuss, and you'll get half your answers over there, because what is allowed and what is not allowed will give you an answer into two roads which you can take or which you cannot take. So first, your first step will be discussing with your faculty and so that you are safer in the future too. Like you don't end up committing to certain things to your audience which you cannot do. So always stay in touch and keep in loop your lecturers and don't piss them off. That will be the first starting point.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question is, during this pandemic, how is it possible to approach organizations for the fund, like for sponsorship?
Yes. Calling is the first way. Second thing is you can really make a very nice emailer or a WhatsApp forward which sums up what your fest is all about. Because if you're digitally approaching them, let it not just be a set of words or a document that has everything written. Be as creative and be as pictorial as possible, because nobody likes to read big paragraphs of 1,000 words. You rather go with something, you have icons, you have vectors, you have lot of things. You just make a design out of anything and it will be more appealing. So first call them, get their number or get their email ID, and make an attempt, send them an emailer with things. Keep following up, but don't spam them. These are three things that you should do, and I think anybody will be interested in what you're saying.
Nice. Okay. So the next question was in the chat box, which I thought is like relevant. So if we are inviting other colleges, then security is on the top, right? So what should we do for it? Should we call local police for security concern or something?
Uh, we have not done that in the past. We didn't have the need to do that in the past. But see, it's better to have a registered system in place, so that in your crew you need to have at least 2-3 people standing at the entrance and verifying whether that person has registered or not, so that not anybody. So you check for the person's student ID, and you check for the coupon or a WhatsApp or whatever entrance format that you've given them. Like usually we give out the entrance slip or something like that. If that's not happening, send them a digital one. Like at least they show that they show their this thing. You have your own list, you check them off your list. This is very important for you to control your crowd, and very important to not fall into security kind of problems in your fest.
True, true. Okay, so the next question is how to increase the footfall of the fest.
Again, don't just limit your fest to participants. Also call the people who want to enjoy and see the fest, and be an audience to it. And again, like my previous point, have a list of people that are going to come, and that will actually make sure whether you should expand. Like if you only have a list of 50 people who are coming, that's not enough for your college fest. So that you have to work harder into increasing your registrations and everything. So rethink your strategy, what you've been doing, and you will find your answer yourself, because every situation and every fest has its own way of dealing with it. So it's a very generic answer that I'm giving right now, because specifically what you have to do will be on you on that day.
True. Relatable question, but a little slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
So, how to motivate students to join the fest in huge numbers? So, basically, motivation of students.
Yeah. So when you go to other colleges to invite them, or when you do it on your social media, make your fest as enthusiastic as possible. Like create an urgency in them that they're missing out something in life if they're not coming to your fest. That should be your communication tone. Like you should be like, this is it. If you don't come to this fest, you are missing out on something in your college life, and you'll have nothing to tell your kids in future. So keep that in mind whenever you're planning your communications and you're choosing your judge, or you're choosing anybody who's coming. Like try your level best, stretch out the most to make the most amazing things happening in your fest, so that itself will invite a lot of footfall for your event.
True. Okay. Next question is how do you keep an account created for a specific event active and engage with the audience when a fest isn't taking place? So that's basically about social media, I guess.
Yes. So what you do is, first you when you create your page, you keep doing little bit of sponsored posts, so that you get enough number of followers for it. And three things that you can do to, you know, keep engaging when the fest is not around. One is doing your throwbacks of, you know, certain performances that happen, or, you know, talking about one of the judges who came in there. That is one thing you can do. Second thing is, if your fest is going to come up, then you can tell people that, you know, create like a suspense in their mind that, you know, fest is coming, but we're not going to tell you when it's coming, but, you know, keep watching this space if you want to know more. This year is going to be something different, so keep communicating that to them. And the third and the very important thing which will help you and which will also engage very easily is asking questions to your followers. So on your story, we have amazing options now. We have challenges, we have DM me, we have mention somebody, hashtag, lot of things that you can do. So you have your polls, you have your, you know, that bar that says if you like it the most or not. So that actually helps you engage a lot more in the post. And the stories are, you know, a perfect combination, I would say, right now for College Fest to do their branding on social media. So you can also, challenges are coming up, right? I think I missed out this point before. You can challenge them, you know, to do it like this person who did it in that performance last year fest. So that becomes a challenge. So just try thinking what is it that your audience enjoyed the most in the fest last year. That will give you the answer to what you should do to engage your audience.
That's really creative. I really like that. Okay, so the next question is how to save cost and ensure good marketing at the same time.
In two words, I will tell, go online. Just go online, because not just in the pandemic situation, otherwise also online is something that's budding up, and online is where most of your audience is. Everybody has a phone, everybody is into their phone. The only way you can get into their head is through their phone, not by standing in front of them, at least nowadays. So online, go online to reduce your cost.
Nice. Okay, one question in the chat box is like really interesting. It says that in the fest you conducted so far, what you feel was the best and attractive part, like which should be more interesting to attend the fest. So basically, share your experience.
So it's like my baby, so I really can't say which part was my favorite. So there was, I could recollect, there was this one competition which was like an open stage for whatever you want to do. So either you dance or you sing or you stand up comedy or anything like that. So that one of that was my favorite. And the second thing was the team performed at the end of the fest. So apart from, you know, going around with organizing everything, putting things together, promotions, you know, getting the backdrop done, everything else, we also took out time from our busy lives to to do a performance for the audience at the end of the fest. So I think that will be the most attractive part that I could remember, and that even the audience appreciated, because even they could see that they put an extra effort over there. So that I think was the attractive part, and because we were an all girls college, it summed up. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's great. So to end this session on a like great note, so what are few things that you would want our mentees to take away with them?
I hope you guys took down the list of the checklist that I was talking about, of where all you can do your branding. And the second thing would be research more on how you can do things online. How like I didn't know the type form that you were talking about. So research on different methods that you yourself can do, because I am saying something from what I did before. So you will have a lot more options right now with, you know, everything is online. So research, spend a lot of time on research. That will be my first suggestion for you. And the second thing is, you make your own checklist. There is no all encompassing checklist that you will find anywhere. It's personally for your fest, what will work for you. You should have your checklist for that, and make sure you tick everything on that checklist before your D-Day. That will be my suggestion.
Okay, so Uday just joined it soon, so he's asking for the checklist. If you could just tell me, I'll just type down the checklist.
Sure. First would be your
Okay.
logo and your name. The second will be your messaging tone and the fonts that you use.
Okay. Style basically?
Yeah, your style guide basically.
Okay.
Then it will be your marketing collaterals, which will
Okay.
be your posters, flyers, invites, certificates. Then you go digital, you have your social media.
Okay.
Then you have your stationery, which will be your notepads, signages, cue cards,
Yeah.
and then your t-shirts, your crew t-shirts, and yeah, and your influencers, your judges.
Judges. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. And your college branding.
Yeah. Awesome. Let me just finish this. Okay, so I'm just going to say again, logo and name, style guide, marketing collateral, social media, stationery, crew t-shirts, judges and influencers, and college branding, right?
Yes.
So, okay, I send it to everyone. Awesome. It was really great talking to you, Rakshita. I really hope you enjoyed this session.
It
And
it really made me also happy because it reminded me of everything that I did back in college. I should say thanks to you too for that.
no. Also, if you could share your LinkedIn profile with them, maybe they would like to get in touch with you or something.
Sure, I'll do that. Just a minute.
So, are you like basically from Hyderabad and you're currently in Hyderabad?
Yes, I am born and brought up in Hyderabad. I'm Pakka Hyderabadi, you could say.
Very close, Vishakhapatnam here.
Yeah. So one thing that I love is, see, my mother tongue is Tamil, and I learned Telugu and Hindi and English here. So I'm like, I know 4 languages, so it is very easy and very nice for me to actually be in a city like this, and it's a very very vibrant city. I
Yeah,
love this city.
nice. Okay, so yeah, it was really great talking to you, and thank you all the mentees for joining today's session. I really hope you got like whatever you expected, you got it. And thank you,
I hope.
Rakshita, once again for this amazing webinar.
Thank you too for inviting me and making me a panelist over here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, see you in the next webinar. Bye, Rakshita. Good night.
Bye. Good
Good
night.
night, guys.